Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Fairweather Podcast. Your boy 2K Suave. I am joined with A-Rod, Mr. Alex Rodriguez. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Doing good, sir.
Welcome back to the Fairweather Podcast, y'all. It's been took a little week to digest all the college basketball that's going on, and you know, fight through whatever things we got to fight through in this world. But we're back, better than ever. A lot of sports has been consumed over the last couple of weeks. To me, when we spring back, how does it go? Spring forward in the clock. When the clock changes and you spring forward, spring's in the air. College basketball is in March Madness. NBA is starting to wrap up. NHL is starting to wrap up. MLB is back. NFL free agency is going crazy. Trades is happening. Draft is happening. So we got a lot of fun shit to get to today. But hey, Rod, let's start with you. What's been going on over the last couple of weeks that that's kind of stood out for you from a crazy, wacky, funny perspective?
Jaime Jaquez of the Miami Heat. And it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor. Everybody on the internet likes to try and wild things up. But supposedly the rumor is he's sleeping with Eric Spoelstra's ex-wife.
You a damn lie.
You haven't seen this?
I've not. Listen, I've been removed and unplugged over the last couple of weeks. But where'd you hear it? Like, who are your sources? NBA Centel?
No. It's just like circulating because she left a comment about, or she liked a comment and like put like kissy faces or hard eyes, something like that. And then she put out just the other day, I follow a guy going down the rabbit hole on it, but she put out like a message the other day about them or something like that. And it looked like it was written on Notepad on your laptop. So I don't know how there's validity to this whatsoever. But also the mother follows him. Her mother follows him. It's a bunch of weird stuff. But that is just a rumor. I'm not saying it's factual. But from what when I click and look on Instagram or Twitter, they're just saying, man, this kid Jaime Jaquez is a dog.
Eric Spoelstra has since smashed and dashed these rumors, saying that it's not true. Obviously, who knows? Who really does know? But it's like, I didn't realize Sports Illustrated got this shit. TMZ, of course, got this shit. Ain't that a hoe? Oh shit. So we go.
Dirty Jaquez.
Listen, Jaime Jaquez, we thought from last year was supposed to be like the next guy for Miami. I haven't really seen it this year, so there might be something to it. There might be something to it. And remember, Pat Riley gave Eric Spoelstra he let Eric Spoelstra finish his divorce shit, and then he gave him his extension so that his ex-wife couldn't get half. So, maybe there's something to it. Who knows? I don't know. Pat Riley, the Godfather. Now you got Jimmy coming back there tonight, and we'll see how that goes by the end of this podcast. But yeah, that's
standing ovation from Heat fans.
They gave him a standing ovation.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if they're gonna boo him, but when you go back and you remove yourself from the whole situation, I think after the last few weeks, people are starting to realize that it was more of a Pat Riley problem and an organization problem rather than a Jimmy problem. Yeah. And then you look back at his tenure there, but they made it to 2 NBA finals. That's when you really think about it. That's crazy.
He gave everything. He just acted silly in the offseason and said some shit about the Knicks. And I don't know what Pat's talking about. Like, you don't play for that, or you don't play for that team. You don't coach that team anymore. Yeah. Let him say what he wants. I understand you want him to be in better shape, but season hasn't even kicked off, and that's what rubbed Jimmy the wrong way. Pause.
No, they did. I don't know if I want to say they did him dirty. It's really hard to say that they did him dirty when you get paid $50 million. But on the same token, yeah, they kind of did him dirty. So
I think they did him dirty. I think players. I think a guy like a Jimmy Butler wants to be with an organization. He made it known in free agent. I want to go to the Miami Heat. Like, he wanted to end his career there, and for you to run him out, I know these guys get paid millions of dollars, but there's got to be some kind of moral value to this as well. I feel like as well as an organization. So
yeah, and that's That's a very interesting story. I had no idea that was going on. So that
Well,
shows how
when
much
when
I've been.
when Ramadan's going on, I know I'm supposed to be like more plugged into other things, but I kind of scroll a little bit more and see what's going on, and that one just caught my eye the last few days.
It's you know, it's crazy how much you can get done when you ain't eating or drinking or anything. It's like you got a lot of time periods all of a sudden to get things accomplished and kind of read up on things. So that's an interesting story. Miami, the Heat in itself has been a topic of conversation over the last few years about Heat culture and all this other stuff. So it's the whole thing is an interesting think piece that I would like to do a lot of research on and really kind of get to the bottom of what.
Let's go down a
Like I
rabbit
just
hole.
start.
Right? Let's go down a rabbit
I'm gonna
hole.
go down that rabbit hole soon. Like I just started watching the Lakers versus Celtics 30 for 30 documentary that they had. Pat Riley,
Series?
huh?
The 3-part series one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I just
You need
finished
to
the first
watch. Do you have
episode.
HBO or no?
Yeah, that's
You
where
know what?
I'm watching the Celtics winning time thing. I'm
The
gonna wait on
Boston
that.
is very, very good. It's
I'm sure.
very, very good. And that what I like about it too is I know they bring in like past Celtics to speak and have clips of like Red Auerbach
Yeah,
and Bill Russell and a lot of those guys speaking, but they also bring in other players too. Like they bring in Pat Riley, they bring in players from the Knicks, they bring in a lot of people, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
Bill Simmons did a good job doing this, so kudos to Sammy for that.
yeah.
Bill Simmons plug-in type thing.
Bill Simmons on Boston ass. He does a good job. To his credit, he does one of the better jobs of the people in media. So Pablo Torre does a pretty good job too. He has this thing
Oh, yeah.
called Torre Finds Out or something like that. And
Mhm.
they do like deep dives into stories. And one of the deep dives that they did was Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. And they were like, look, why is there no video footage? And they went and like interviewed former people who called the game. Like it was a crazy 45, 50-minute thing. You can find it on YouTube. So those are the kind of things I like to kind of like, find out more about and dig deep. But I was saying like with Pat Riley, I really want to dig into Pat Riley and really get to understand who he is. Like he's they people say he runs Miami. He's the
You don't
Godfather. Like
You want to do?
I
You can get a knock on your door. You gonna get a knock on your door. What are you
I
looking
want
at?
to figure this
You're
dude
looking
out,
at that
bro.
for?
I
You don't
want
want
to figure
that.
that dude out. So that's on my list of projects that I want to kind of work with. But I want to talk. We'll kind of use this as a transition point. Because my crazy, wacky, funny, or whatever you want to call it, is my dog Amir Aura Khan. From Big DC State. Now he hit the transfer portal.
You see?
Not a
Yes.
player, not a player, not a coach, not a athletic trainer,
Do you
not
see his endorsements?
Buffalo Wild Wings, Tops. I think I went with Tops. Oh my God. He had the
His
one that made
watch?
him the jacket. I gotta see his endorsements. But
I'll
this
look it up
dude,
right now.
this dude, Amir Khan, right? So we talk about one thing I love about March Madness. Not one thing, but one of the many things that really make me love March Madness are the stories that kind of come from March Madness and the player profiles that are done, where you get to like fall in love with a player for a month or for 2 weeks or for 2 or 3 games because of like that kid from Oakland last year. He got a lot of endorsement deals, and he was just some random white dude that hit like 8 threes, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen." Endorsement deals. You see the big dude from NC State that didn't get drafted. He got NC State to the Elite Eight or Final Four last year,
Yeah, Kate.
and he was a story. Endorsement deals, NIL, and he's not even in the league. So either way, you get all these stories and top, things that kind of come up during the month of March.
The big ones that he has are Buffalo Wild Wings Tops, Insomnia Cookie,
Yeah,
TurboTax.
TurboTax is important to have during. See, that's what sucks. If I'm college basketball, right, or if I'm TurboTax, I call NCAA. Look, we need McNeese State to make it to at least like the Elite Eight because we need to have Amir doing TurboTax commercials on every game for the rest of the tournament. You know what I mean? So But no, like this kid is a team manager. Walks out with a boombox. He knows his rap songs. He doesn't ever say the N word. He's a cool kid, and the team really backed him. Like they really fed into it, and they were able to get a first round upset over Clemson. And I should have seen that one coming. That one was on me.
Me too. I did it.
I should have seen that one coming because like there was so much battery in the back of DC State over the last couple of weeks because of the kid. I heard some stories about they made offers to only people who like Waffle House. Like they were just, it was like cool shit that was coming out of Big East. So I should have seen that one coming. But just the fact that this kid was able to get an NIL deal for 6 different companies, something like that, and then the fact that the coach is able to, after the tournament is done, after the game is done, immediately after, I got going to NC State, and I'm taking Amir Khan with me. He took the kid with him to NC State. That's some boss shit to me. Those are some of the funny stories of NIL and shit like that. Because
does he get a full ride scholarship? Does he get a full ride scholarship for that?
Bro, he don't need a full ride scholarship. He get 100. His NIL deals are worth $100K. That covers all the tuition he needs, and I'm sure he's getting some type of scholarship as well, because you heard other former players they talk about what team managers do. They picking up all the towels, cleaning up all the sweat, putting all the stuff in the laundry. They do, especially for a smaller school like that. They do a lot of shit. At my job, I'm real kind to the staff that works at the WeWork building because I know how much shit they got to do, and you realize for a kid like that, probably 21, 20 years old, he's doing a lot. And that's because he just really enjoys DC State, or he enjoys basketball. He loves being around the guys, but it's not like he's getting paid to do any of that shit. It's just, hey, I'm a volunteer, you know what I mean? So kudos to him to take advantage of the rules that NCAA has in play, where he can just hit the transfer portal in May and go to another school. He's a student. I know the semester's not over yet. So kudos to him.
Fun fact, where do you go to college? Name me a player that went to McNeese State that's not there now.
I can tell you something about McNeese State. USF lost to McNeese State in 2013. The first game of the season. And I was like, who the hell is McNeese State? And that was when I realized USF was on a downturn. Now, player, is it a wide receiver?
No, I'm talking NBA.
Oh, an NBA player that went to McNeese. Oh, yeah, duh. We're talking about football. An NBA player that went to McNeese. Anthony Hart, no, he went to Memphis. What position?
Shooting guard.
2 guard. Last 10 years or 90s or what?
90s, 80s. Give you some hints. Former GM.
Former GM.
Former bad boy Piston.
I was about to say, it's not Isaiah Thomas. Bill Lambier, was he? No, he wasn't the GM.
Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars
Went to McNeese.
Really?
That's the only player that I know went to McNeese.
I think he's the president of the Players Association right now in the NBA. He's a higher up in the NBA. Oh, okay, bad boy Joe Dumars. That's pretty dope. But yeah, the other thing I know about McNeese is that they beat USF football about 12 years ago, and I was like, damn, we really suck now. We lost to McNeese. So, but yeah. Now, speaking of the tournament, how's your bracket doing?
I'm out. I'm number 4 right now, but I'm out. I picked UConn and didn't last so well for me.
All right, man.
Because this notion of the top 4 number ones always going to the Final Four. I don't see it happening.
It doesn't happen. It's not normal for it to happen. The last time it happened was 2007 or 8. It was when Florida won. That was the last time it happened. So that's why a lot of people were picking Florida. This is the first time in a while where all the number ones seem to be pretty qualified. So we watched Florida play Norfolk and the UConn. Really good game against the defending champs. So officially we're having a new champ, and much to the chagrin of A-Rod, because he picked UConn to win it all. Yeah, you are in 4th place, Mr. New York Bombers, 2-3. So yeah, UConn ain't winning it. Number 2, whoever Zebra Cakes is, shout out to you. But you're number 2 right now, but you picked Illinois. What are we doing? We picked Illinois. Outside of that, we have somebody named you know who, ranked number one, with 540 points. They're in the 99.5 percentile. They're doing fantastic. So whoever you know who is, and they picked Florida to win, which could definitely happen. I am curious to see who they picked. So they picked who they got wrong. They picked Texas A&M over Michigan. Damn, this person's pretty good, bro. They even have Arkansas making it to the Elite Eight, no, to the Sweet 16. But they got St. John's. Oh, no. They got St. John's beating Texas Tech. Never mind. Whoever this person is, you're in the 99.5 percentile. So shout outs to you. But what's kind of stood out to you for week one of the NCAA tournament?
I've been watching a lot of it, to be honest with you. I didn't watch a lot of regular season college basketball. That kid from Florida that used to be at Iona, he's a baller, man.
He could go. Yeah.
He's good. He's a good player. Duke is looking good. Cooper Flag is as advertised. He should be the number one pick. Who else? Drake. They had a good little run.
I picked Drake in my bracket. Fun fact,
really, I had a feeling to do it too, but I was just like, I hate that name so much, man. I don't want to give the boy credit. So
you let your hate get in the way. So yeah. Part of the reason why I picked Drake was because when I was in high school, we had this kid on our team named Josh Wollaston. He was born strong as hell, right? And he played linebacker for us or whatever. And he was one of the players that we had because we didn't live in Tampa, Florida. We lived in Kissimmee. So now that we had Alabama knocking on the door all the time, you know what I mean? Like we didn't have those kind of schools showing up, but we did have Drake show up, and he signed a full ride scholarship to go to Drake. So I always remember, oh damn, Drake, you playing football at Drake? Where the hell is Drake? Where the hell is Drake at? But yeah, Drake, that was a good little win they had, but I feel like there's a lot less of the upsets, or am I wrong?
There was a lot less upsets. I feel like there was like 3 or 4 day one. And I kind of felt like that going into this.
Yeah.
But Arizona, you know how every year we're like, Arizona, I don't think it's it. There's something. I think this is the year, man. I think Arizona is going to be getting people's goats. I know they got to play Duke next, but
they can't be, bruh.
It's going to be tough. Boy, Caleb Love's out for blood, man. Caleb Love is out for blood.
You see, as a UNC Tar Heel fan, basketball, I'm watching him from across the pond. Like if he was still with UNC, like I heard like that shit broke up because of a female. That's not cool, bro. We teammates. But like apparently Caleb Love and what's his name? Bryce. God, what's his freaking name at UNC? Whatever his name, I can't think of his name right now. Oh my God. He's a UNC all-time leading scorer. You know what? I can't. RJ Davis. God damn. Thank you. So apparently that's kind of like what happened with the two of them. It was like, anyway, but watching Arizona from across the pond, I've always felt like it's the Arizona, and you're absolutely right. But remembering how good this kid is, Love, and seeing what he's doing for him, there's a fight there. There's some fight there. But that
Cooper Flag.
Listen, I was talking about it the other day. He has to be. So from Duke, everyone's been saying he's the best prospect they've had since Grant Hill. And if you remember how good Grant Hill was, like Grant Hill should have been LeBron James, basically. Like he was that good immediately in the NBA.
Injuries, man.
Injuries got the best of him. Cooper Flag, I ain't saying he gonna be LeBron, but he can be the better version of what Ben Simmons was supposed to be. That's how I see it. He is the better version. Hear me what I say right now. He's the better version of what Ben Simmons ultimately has become. And we have a surprise. Mr. Sammy has just joined the chat. And we'll talk about Cooper Flag real quick. I want you to just talk to me about how. Here's what I just said. I just told Ira. I said Cooper Flag is going to. I'm not saying he's gonna be LeBron, but he's gonna be a better version of what Ben Simmons was supposed to be in this league. Where am I at? Am I crazy? Am I wilding? What you think, Sammy?
Is that the no water team?
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think you're pretty accurate. I think that's fair. He can
And
shoot.
yeah,
He has the court vision. I mean, with the effort that you see, he works both sides of the ball. He's got the length, pause. But yeah, I think overall he looks like the real deal. He looks like his head is 100% of the game. I think that's the biggest thing you got to take away from it all is he all in on hoops, and you can tell he lives and dies by ball.
yeah. Listen. I hate Duke, right? Him and Zion, Paolo, there's a Grant Hill. There's a few players that from Duke. I'm like, damn, I could never hate this dude, right? And another thing that's telling, most white boys from Duke, fans just hate. Grayson Allen, Christian Laettner, JJ Redick, they never got over with the fans. Cooper Flag is the only white boy I've seen at Duke that's like,
because Mike Krzyzewski's not there anymore.
Unquestioned, everybody loves him, dog. It's like everybody loves this dude. So that's how you know. They talk about aura. That kid got the aura.
Another thing that two things that I take away from the tournament too is, one, all the kids that went to Mount Verde Academy with Cooper Flag, they're ballers. Even though the one from UConn is out, the kid from Maryland, he hit the game-winning shot. That school or that program knows how to get players and develop them, because they all went to good schools and they're balling out. And
Can
the last
you point out Mount Dora on the map?
Yeah.
Mount Dora, Florida. Do you know exactly where that's, Bress? It's a random school in the middle of nowhere.
Isn't that like north of Orlando or something like that?
Yeah, it's basically the basketball version of IMG Academy. It's just a factory of Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell, it's
Academy. Like Oak Hill Academy, basically.
Like Oak Hill. It's just a factory. It just happens to be in basically Orlando. So
and
yeah.
The last thing is the legend of John Calipari, man. Like, this dude, it's wild to see what he did with Kentucky and how Kentucky's out of it now. And there's some kind of tying in with St. John's too. I think like the coach from St. John's went to Kentucky and
Kansas.
lost.
They beat Kansas. Not Kentucky. They beat Kansas.
No, I know, but like what he did with Kentucky, I'm saying I think there's like a crazy lineage from St. John's to Kentucky to Arkansas, because he used to be the coach of Kentucky, and I think one of them beat St. John's. Who was it? Was it Arkansas that beat?
Yeah, they beat St. John's. And Pitino used to coach at Kentucky.
Yeah,
coached
it's
at
like
Louisville.
Crazy circle.
He coached in Rhode Island as well, where they're playing the game at. It was a bunch of just, us nerds. Bunch of us nerds just going down these, But yeah, you're absolutely right. But no,
I didn't see the team being that good, but man, he's got these kids playing very well.
All the experts were like, they have not played well this year. Experts, of course, they have not played well this year, and they were bad in SEC play. Why are they in the tournament? They knocked out Kansas. They knocked out Rick Pitino. They knocked out Bill Self and Rick Pitino. I mean, shit. You pat yourself on the back. And now they got Texas Tech, who I watched college basketball this year. I watched Texas Tech play 2 or 3 times. Boys is good. Those boys are really good. So I don't know if they can beat Texas Tech, then they're legit. They're definitely legit. They'll have opportunity to play Florida, who they already played during the regular season a few times. So they have an idea of who they are. So that would be, and mind you, they're a 10 seed. So like we talked about, there's many upsets. If a 10 seed makes it to the Elite 8, that's pretty impressive, right? So, Sammy, what's like a big takeaway that you have from the NCAA tournament?
That the SEC is better than I gave them credit for. That's pretty much it. I was poo-pooing on the SEC. I was poo-pooing on the situation that always SEC is put in, and how oh, it's just because, they have all the publicity, they have all the money, there's going to be other teams that beat them. But, as far as I'm concerned, seeing what they've accomplished this season, seeing some of their strength of schedules, how they've gone even when they go cross conference, they still dominate. And then obviously the proof is in the pudding with how they're outputting in this March Madness, Alabama, Arkansas, like you said, obviously Auburn, Florida. So, I mean,
Tennessee.
yeah, Tennessee,
Tennessee,
like they're just
shit.
studs, and
Kentucky.
Arkansas looking like, yeah, they're a 10
Oh,
seed, but they
shit.
probably should have been a higher seed because they're stuck in the SEC against some of these other teams. So
Yeah. Yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alabama's still there. Geez, Texas A&M is
Ole
no, they
Miss.
lost.
Arkansas hasn't been relevant since like Antonio McDyess was there either.
And that's a different sport on top of that. Like, when's the last basketball Arkansas team you can think of? Mr. A-Rod, where did he go to college? That's going to Arkansas that sticks out.
Antonio McDyess, that's it.
And how long? That was 1993 or some shit like that.
1995.
Come on, bro. That's long. 20 years. 30. God. 30
Bro, don't
years.
sleep on my boy Bobby Portis, bro.
Bobby
yeah,
Portis.
too. Yeah, that's
Arkansas,
right.
Arkansas, huh? Okay. All right.
But
So
yeah, the point still stands. They haven't been relevant for a very long time.
SEC has been doing the thing. That's the other point.
I mean, McDyess was a lottery pick. I know that, and I think Bobby Portis was like a later first round pick. But still, like that's just wild to think.
Yo, when Dice was playing basketball for a long time, I remember when he eventually got to Detroit. Right, every time it was an 18-footer from the free throw line, he never missed an 18-footer. That whole Detroit run, it's sweet, and Toby Dice. It was all the time. It was crazy. So, but yeah, I love March. Sammy, we talked about Amir Khan. Are you familiar? Amir Khan, the kid from McNeese State with the big rated boombox.
Yeah.
He got 6 NIL deals. He hit the transfer portal. He went to NC State with the coach.
Wow.
What are your thoughts?
It's good for the sport. It's about all I got for that. I mean, it's just some clickbait stuff. It brought a lot of attention to McNeese State. It brought a lot of attention to, March Madness for a little. Like I said, I think my other biggest takeaway that I was taking away, I thought this March Madness has been kind of overall. Right, nothing crazy besides this Arkansas run. But if you like college basketball, you know how the SEC plays, then you're kind of like not super surprised. I mean, it's still surprising to see a 10 seed, but yeah, I mean that Amir Khan was good virality, I guess, for March Madness this year.
Listen, I got Buffalo Wild Wings over the weekend. His NIL deal worked on me. I was like, maybe I should try Buffalo. See, I know I'm getting old when commercials are getting me to buy shit. I was sitting there on Saturday. I was like. It was Friday night. I was like, shit, I'm gonna get Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's it. If that boy does a Chili's commercial, I'm going ASAP, man.
Ron, is it just me? Or do you just notice more food commercials now that we're fasting? That's all I notice, bro. I can't turn the TV on during the day.
I can't either. I can't even look like my algorithm on my Instagram is I love that shirt, man. Best purchases ever. My Instagram is always like sports, Pokemon, and cooking for some reason now. And like I try to put sports more to it, but more cooking is being pumped into it. I'm like, oh my god.
Speaking of algorithms, never mind.
There's some other bad stuff in mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to talk about mine.
I don't even talk about my algorithm right now. Fuck, I look like.
I don't need my girl to fight with me after this. Oh, so this is what's on your algorithm? I don't need that.
Now I gotta edit this out, bro. Anyway. All right. And then real quick with the tournament on the women's side too. The USF got blasted. Got destroyed by who was it, LSU? Dog. No, Tennessee. By Tennessee. It was on national TV. We got destroyed by 50 points. But shout out to Jose Fernandez for getting us back to the tournament. He's been with the university for 20 years, and he's the winningest coach we ever had. Obviously, we should build him a statue. He is worthy to me. He's not Gino Auriemma, obviously, because we're not winning championships. But we've been to the NCAA tournament a few times. We won an NIT championship. I remember like in 2008. We've won the AAC a couple times. So shout out to Jose Fernandez, best coach in USF history in any sport. I said any sport. Yeah, Jim Levitt, Jose Fernandez, best coach we ever had. Also, shout out to Juju Watkins, tore ACL. Really sad situation because if anybody cares about women's basketball, she is worth the price of admission. Like Caitlin Clark, worth the price of admission. Paige Buckers and Candace Parker, Maya Moore, and then we got Juju Watkins. Like she is definitely worth. Skylar Diggins Smith was definitely worth the price of admission. But for a few reasons. Anyway, but Juju Watkins is a dog, so rest up, get that knee right, you'll be back better than ever. He's a dog. And that's all I got on the turn. All right. God, there's so much shit going on this morning. So might as well get to the New York Giants. I just feel like laughing for a quick second. My cousin, he's a Giants fan. He's from Brooklyn. He lives in Atlanta now, but he don't want to give me credit when I'm right. He's been going through an emotional roller coaster this whole year ever since we got Saquon. So he texts me first when anything happens. When they signed Jameis a couple of days ago, he was like, I'm gonna read exactly what he said to me. Because like I want you to get into the mind of a Giants fan. And mind you, I didn't text him back. I'm a piece of shit. But anyway, he said signing Jameis Winston was a chess move. If Cleveland and Tennessee sign Russ, especially Cleveland, they'll be less inclined to take a QB that high when Abdul Carter and Travis are in play. My delusion, but let me have it. And then they go and sign Russell Wilson today. So now they got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. As soon as that happened, my girl texted me. I was at work. She was like, why did the Giants sign Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston? So I want to get it from your perspective because I'm coming from green colored glasses. So my perspective is whatever. What are the? I'm gonna start you, New York, Mr. A-Rod. What are the Giants doing right now? What do you think they're doing?
I don't
After
know.
all the bullshit they went through last year with Hard Knocks, I'm curious to know where you think their mind is at.
I don't know if it's like we need to win right now. That's not the move. It would have been getting a young QB and Shador Sanders, and having Jameis kind of start the season and then ease him in there type of role. I thought that would have been smart, but that GM, I don't know how he has a job, to be honest with you. I really don't know how he has a job. I put out my mock draft today and I redid it, thinking about things again because I've been following all these beat writers trying to see where they're at. Has some what
your mock draft? I want to take a look at it.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat.
You redid it? You said the original one.
I said the second one.
Oh, you did? I bet. Yeah. All right, continue.
I said the second one, but I'm gonna have to redo it now. I'm gonna have to redo it now because I don't think the Giants are gonna take three QBs on the roster now, and the way it's looking is that maybe they know they're out on Shador Sanders and the Browns go after Shador now. Now that Myles Garrett's there, they don't need to really get another guy unless they want to create the Great Wall of Cleveland there. I mean, that's the only thing I could see, but I don't know what they're thinking, man. That organization. I wish them luck, not really, but it just doesn't make any sense. I think Jameis Winston would have been a great bridge just to throw out there in the beginning and then have a young guy go out there.
And he would have sold hella tickets. You would never have to worry about attendance because you got to go see the Jameis Winston show. You never know what you're gonna get.
He spoke that into fruition too. He was like, "Where should I go during the combine?" And to go to New York.
Shout out to Saquon Barkley, MVP on and off the field. I love that dude.
He is, but I don't know what they're doing, man, and we'll see. It looks like they're going to end up in my books with Abdul Carter, which will be a great pick for them. But this team they could go and get, I don't know, Malachi Starks or something like that. I don't know what they're going to do. So,
Sammy, go ahead. What you think?
I mean, it's very clear what they're doing. I mean, let's say they go the route of Shador Sanders. I think we can all agree that he probably isn't ready to start in the NFL right away. He needs a couple of years. And then we're sitting here acting like $10.5 million for 1 year is such a big deal to have Russell Wilson. I don't think that's a bad person to have in front of you, especially Shador Sanders, knowing his skill set kind of fits what Russell brought to the NFL. So who's a better person for him to kind of learn a lot of that than from Russell Wilson if they end up going that
I
direction?
agree.
And then with the Jameis Winston, I mean, that's technically your true backup. I don't think you're going to throw Shador Sanders in as a backup as a rookie, right? So again, 10.5 mil, you could do a lot worse, especially because it's only a 1-year deal. He's in and out. And then if things work out and you see everything going into place, it's not a bad situation to be in. To be honest, if I'm a Giants fan, you got to be at least semi-excited. Yes, it doesn't look like there's a direction, but at least they're doing something, right? Like they know what their issue was, right? Like that's the thing. They knew what the problem is. So they're trying to address the problem. Yeah, they're throwing shit at a wall, seeing what sticks.
What
but
was the problem? Is it just quarterback?
Now they
Is that
know
it?
they
Because
have to
that
secure.
team seems a lot more screwed up
Right.
than just quarterback.
But there's a lot, yes, and there's a lot of other issues that you can answer at different points, right? But at least right now they're working out. Okay, at least we have this in place to sell tickets, bring an entertaining product out there. Because even last year, it was not even an entertaining product, right? This is going to be a semi-entertaining, interesting, I should say, product to see what happens, what develops. So honestly, I don't think it's a terrible choice. Do I agree with A-Rod? Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I mean, it's better than what my team did 3 years ago. Like I had no idea what direction they were going in. At least if we did this 3 years ago before the Mac Jones or while we were projecting to get Mac Jones, I'd be stoked. I'd be like, all right, cool. They're trying something. They're trying to
even
figure
if
it out.
you knew you were going to draft a quarterback in the first round, and you would still be cool signing 2 veterans like that, can ideally both start. You think they're going to really? All right. What about you? Think they're going to release?
I think personally, the
2?
only quarterback from this draft that I think is actually ready that could take a starting job is Cam Ward.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's the only one that's ready.
That's ready.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. If you have Shador Sanders, he's got a year or two, right? And you don't want to lose your asset so soon. You don't want to put him out there. Look what happens to a lot of these quarterbacks that aren't. And I'm not saying he's not a special talent. He is a pretty special talent. But I mean, I'm talking about next level talent, right? Like the Joe Burrows, like that situation. Like we don't know if Shador is that, so we can't really compare him. But why would you put and like take a chance to throw a guy out there to get his ass kicked and then just be absolutely nothing? Because how many times have we seen How many times have we seen quarterbacks go down that road as a rookie and then they just never come back? And it's not even their fault. That's just what ends up happening.
Yeah, how many times A-Rod?
It's, I know they have offensive line issues, right? They got all these other. I mean, at least you got Malik Neighbors there. At least there's gonna be something entertaining. They're gonna throw the ball downfield. So I don't know. I'm honestly, to be honest, I'm not even a Giants fan, but I'm actually interested in this show. So
listen. One thing about the NFC East, we got Jerry Jones' crazy ass. We had the shit that the Washington team has done over the last 50 years with the past owner changing the name. So we got them. We got cocaine doing what's his name? LT in the 80s. You got Plaxico Burress shooting something in the leg. You got Joe Shea saying, "Oh, it looks like Saquon's talk to more." Like, one thing about the NFC East, we gonna give y'all some shit. T.O. doing sit-ups in a parking lot. One thing about NFC East, we gonna give y'all some shit. So shout out to the Giants to make it like their camp interesting. Now, A-Rod, where am I drafting Malik Neighbors in fantasy next year?
He's going second round, I think.
Second? All right. I'm trying to figure out where am I gonna I gotta poach him, because if it's Jameis, bro, he getting like 180 targets, because Jameis is gonna throw that damn football. So I'm drafting Malik Neighbors mid-second round, maybe next. He might be WR5, maybe. Let's see. All right. Now, how does this? Well, Sam, you might as well just go to the next team in the draft. So we can, we're kind of doing like a pseudo mock draft, talk about your teams, because y'all both, no offense, are in the top 5. Well, you're in the top 7. The Giants are interesting, and then y'all are number 4, right? So we're pretty confident Cam Ward is probably going to be a Tennessee Titan, right? And the Browns not signing Russell Wilson seems like they're probably going quarterback, right? Or should, what do you think what do you think the Browns should do in this situation?
I think you get Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
That guy's like the best player in the draft, but
Yeah.
they're not.
Best
I think
available.
they signed 2 backup quarterbacks, and Kenny Pickett-Smith and Trey. Who's the, or not Kenny?
Kenny
Yeah,
Pickett Smith.
Kenny
Kenny
Pickett-Smith.
Pickett.
They got
Kenny
Kenny
the Jet Smith.
Yeah. Who's the other quarterback they have though? It's like another backup that they have.
Yeah, backups.
Yeah. So I don't think they're sold on that.
All right. The Giants, to me, made those quarterback moves because they need a win now. Because after all the bullshit they've been going through the last few years, like they need, like the owners, Murray's probably like, give me a winning product, right? Now look at the Browns. They've wasted money on Deshaun Watson. They've done the bad business over the last couple of years. Are they in a? And now Myles Garrett was this close to being out the door, and they backed up the whole Brinks truck for him. So
Again.
are we in a mode with Cleveland where it's like, yo, we need to go win some fucking games now? Because defensive end, they haven't struggled on defense. That's not the problem. You know what I mean? They haven't had a quarter. The difference of having a quarterback and not having a quarterback, like, Sammy, you had Tom Brady for 20 years. It was the greatest 20 years ever, right? That little in limbo since then, I don't know how you feel about Drake May, but it sucks. It sucks. A-Rod, you've been through the gauntlet.
Mark Sanchez, best I've seen.
I have McNabb, I have Vic, I had a couple of that, but like to have somebody like Jalen Hurts, it feels good. I can't go sell tickets next year like we got Kenny Pickett. We got Small. He took snaps at the Super Bowl, and I know Shedeur Sanders is not ready. I mean, I wouldn't want to just throw him out there to the wolves, but they got to show me something. Like if I'm a Cleveland investor, season ticket holder, I need to feel excited to go see the product next year. And right now, my product is Myles Garrett getting 17 sacks and being disappointed at the end of the year, and then hopefully Nick Chubb's D stay intact. Like that is what I got to look forward to every year.
He's a free agent.
Chubb, well, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I've been dealing with. So do you not think making that splashy hire of a Shedeur Sanders would probably benefit them, especially now that we know they didn't want Russell Wilson, they're not getting Aaron Rodgers, they're not getting any of that stuff. I mean,
They only have 2 quarterbacks on the roster right now: Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. So it's kind of like the same situation the Giants are in. You've got 2 quarterbacks, and I think Kenny Pickett.
Deshaun Watson, I think he just had an Achilles tear or Achilles surgery. He's not going to be playing next year. So that baton's got to be passed. No offense to Deshaun or whatever you want to think about Deshaun. It ain't work out, bro. It's time. Move on. Like that. I mean, shit. They already restructured your contract. I just feel like Abdul Carter is an obvious pick, right? But it's like, what are they gonna do? They just gonna stop people and not score the football? Like they got to do something. That's just me from like putting my GM fan, like Cleveland Brown fan hat. I don't know how they feel internally.
Another thing I keep seeing with Shedeur Sanders is a lot of teams have mixed emotions on him right now. Some teams are calling him a day 2 pick now. They're saying that he's not.
I've heard that, but I also heard that he's also he needs to be like a team that fits him as well. And I've heard from what I've been reading or what I've been seeing, and that lady who knows everything that goes on in Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski sees Shedeur Sanders as a fit, like an actual fit for what they want to do. Remember, they had
too.
Baker Mayfield, undersized, playing, how he played in college, very accurate. Like he could coach somebody like a Shedeur Sanders. He may not be ready year 1, but he will be in a situation by mid to late next year, and then year 2, you start seeing that progression from him.
If Cleveland gets him, he'll be in by like 5 games in if Kenny Pickett stinks it up. Like I guarantee you that. He's going to get thrown to the wolves immediately. But I just hate the notion of quarterback, because you see a guy like Myles Garrett and what you can do when you put the right tools around him. You've got the defense figured out. Now it's rolling the dice on getting a quarterback. And I think a lot of teams do that.
Bro, think about it. The Jets had the defense figured out for years. And y'all can't win a Super Bowl with Darrelle Revis and all that shit because you can't score like the Bears. Remember they played against the Colts? They had Rex Grossman on the other side. But like the Bears, they were hoping to get a kick return for a touchdown, thank God, and defensive scores. Because they can't, no matter how great that defense was, they couldn't hold up. You need something competent at quarterback. Something that's just, give me a Joe Flacco, but give me a Trent Dilfer. I don't know.
Get a good veteran quarterback. But not a guy like Deshaun Watson. Go, Sammy.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. I think we're looking at the Cleveland Browns as more of why are they doing this, or like what are they doing versus why, right? You're still stuck under contract for Deshaun Watson for at least another year, if not 2. One more year, you at least get to that final year that you could potentially do something with that, and then his dead cap hit is a lot. His dead cap hit is a lot less. So let's say they go the Shedeur Sanders route. What's Shedeur Sanders minimum going to be? 35 mil. Now you have $80 million in quarterbacks, in 2 guys, right? One guy that's going to have to get thrown into the wolves, like you guys have, or like we were talking about, probably pretty soon because the team. If you don't even have him there, you go for the best available, Abdul Carter. You're saving for 2-3 years from now. You have your defense is 100% solid, and then if you get the 2026 quarterback, who apparently what people are saying now is the 2026 is a much better draft class quarterback wise than this year, then you're set up for. I think so.
Yep.
So you're set up for a much better potential at a quarterback, guys that are probably more ready for the NFL. So again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but when you look at the financials of it, 80 million locked or average 80 million locked into 2 is kind of tough because I think actually, hold on, Deshaun Watson next year is making 37 million. So with the potential to restructure. So again.
Yeah,
I think that's the situation Cleveland's looking at, especially if you're an owner. Yes, you want results, but you're like, I need that bottom line. You know,
you mentioned Deshaun gonna fall off next year anyway, so it's like
we all know that was stupid. I mean, they know now that was stupid, but
yeah. So, all right, let's skip to the Patriots since we're right there. We have a picture of kind of what we're looking at right now. So. We know Cam. It really depends on what happens with Shedeur. Because if it's not Shedeur, we know Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are coming up the board, bang bang, immediately. Whatever order that's in, that seems to be the consensus, right? So, what do you want the top 3 teams to do so you can get the guy you want at 4? Or, from what I was hearing from you, do you even want to be in the 4 position? I need a case for both.
We've already proven, right, that the defense looks like it's going to be quite effective next year. I mean, we've had 2-3 seasons of a defense that was effective, but without kind of a lot of the star talent. We've already got Gonzalez, right? He's a young corner. I don't want another young corner. Like, we don't need another young corner. And I'm sorry, and I know he's good. I know Travis Hunter is very good, and Victor's not here to defend himself. He's very good. But I don't want another young corner unless they think he's better than Gonzalez. But I'm like, I think we have bigger issues. I want to, like I mentioned to you, protect that asset, man. Protect that asset, bro. You can get corners. We know we're not winning shit next year. Protect the asset the best that you can. Either, trade out, load up on offensive tackle talent, or defensive tackle talent, because this is, I'm looking through the draft board. It's just loaded full of linebackers, defensive tackles, all that stuff. There's a pretty good amount of good offensive tackles as well. Load up on that. Protect your asset, man. Like you just said, you can't win without a quarterback. And if your quarterback is getting hit as much as he was getting hit last year, he's not going to last. But anyway, I'm the crazy one, though.
So I'm going to let you know right now, y'all not trading that pick. So now let's put on the other glasses. The fact that you're probably not trading that pick, right? What is the best situation for you at that number 4 position? Give me your most ideal situation, drafting at 4, not trading out. Your most ideal and what you expect to happen.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know. Shedeur Sanders, not Shedeur Sanders. Travis Hunter is very appealing, right? And I agree with a lot of people, but I think Christian Gonzalez is pretty good. He had a great end of the season last year. I think people are really mistaken. They think the team was really bad, but if you look at how he played at the end of last season, incredible. Kid's young. And now he's going to be under a consistent defensive regime, a team that has a direction. So let's see what happens there. He's a top talent. Carlton Davis is fine as a number 2. I mean, we just loaded up that defensive front, so I don't know what else we would need.
What else did you guys load up on today?
Stephon Diggs. So we don't need a wide receiver now.
What else did y'all just load up on today, dog?
I think it was an overpay, but
3 years, $99 million, baby.
I think it was an overpay.
You don't like it?
I can't complain. I mean, that was one of the guys that I mentioned, I think like 3 podcasts ago, that I was like, I'd be fine with that, depending on the cost. And I think I said those exact words. I'm like, I'd be fine with Diggs, depending on the cost. I don't really think 21 million a year is a lot, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, oh, with the torn ACL, I don't know. So.
But now look, Travis Hunter. I heard if they were going to draft Travis Hunter, it was to play him more receiver, right? And then sprinkling him on defense, like in a nickel package or something like that. So now you got a veteran Stephon Diggs. You got who else? Kayshon Boutte. Who else you got?
Kayshon Boutte, Kendrick Bourne,
Hunter
Henry.
Come on, hey, you know Stephon Diggs is just one side of the football.
No.
I've been told by a lot of people that Travis Hunter's going to play more wide receiver because he's the best receiver in the draft. That's what they've been saying. He's like head and above shoulders the best receiver in the draft that can also be the best defender in the draft.
But is that saying a lot?
What does that not say? I just want the Heisman. Let me tell you something about a Heisman.
I know.
Devontae Smith is my favorite Philadelphia Eagle. He was my favorite player at Alabama while he was there. Deserved the Heisman, and he did that as a receiver. You can get a receiver that won the Heisman that can play defense too. Come on, brother. You gotta be excited about that prospect.
Look at the other offensive talents they had to compete against outside of quarterbacks, right? Take quarterbacks out of it. You got Ashton Jeanty, right? He was never going to get chosen because he plays for a small school and he's a running back, right? Even though he had probably one of the craziest seasons, right? What other wide receivers are there? And again, I'm not saying he's not good, right? I have my doubts, but if we take him there, I'll be fine. I'll be happy with, okay, we went for the best available. You got to do that. So, but again, I want to protect my asset, man. But we'll come back to this. I want to protect that asset. That's all.
So you want to get a tackle like Bembu?
No, not at 4. Not at 4. If we traded out, got 2 picks for it, and ended up getting a lot more, just statistically, if we just put a lot more players there, one of them's going to pan out at the offensive tackle position.
Hey, Rod, if somebody was going to trade, do his dream scenario, and trade to the number 4 position, we probably assume Cam Ward's off the board already, obviously. We're assuming Abdul Carter's off the board already. And so it really depends. So give me a scenario where a team would trade up to the 4th slot because there's a certain player available that they got to get. What is there a team that you can see make like we got to go get that player at 4?
Somebody that wants Travis Hunter. That's the only one I can see because I think he's going to be the 4th pick. And that would be, I don't know the team. Jacksonville could use a lot. And it depends how they're going to use him. I think the Shohei Ohtani role for him is wild because that's a lot you're asking from a player. That's a lot of bang that he's going to take on his body to tackle, to get tackled. That's a lot. And at the NFL, I know he did great in college. It's another level of gameplay there. These are bigger boys. So. And one thing about these Colorado kids, I love them to death, man. I love the swag, I love everything, but they're coming in like they know shit, like we good. And I think they're gonna get a not a rude awakening, but they're gonna get humbled a little bit more.
What kids? Because the only one I thought I knew about is Shador. I didn't even the other kids who are in the combine, I don't know who they exist. I know the USF kids.
I'm talking about just Travis and Shador.
Okay. I wasn't even thinking about Travis.
Yeah, those are the only 2. And then the other Sanders kid, he's probably gonna be like, oh, I got my dad's genes. Yeah, well, you're going 6th round, buddy. Sorry. So I think it's somebody that really wants to have Hunter on their team, and they're gonna have to decide how they're going to use them. I know he was a hybrid role in college. That was cool. That was awesome to see. But I don't know if that's going to translate to the NFL. Just like have we ever seen a player do that in the NFL?
Like what? Both like 100%?
Yeah, like 100%.
Not 100%, but Deion Sanders did it. And it's not like Ty Law. Didn't Ty Law do it?
I don't think
Julian
so.
Edelman did it. Troy Brown did it. I don't think Ty Law did it.
Yeah,
Troy Brown did it.
No one's going to do it 100%. But can it be done? If you have a smart team that knows how to like run certain packages.
But these aren't smart teams. That's the thing. These aren't smart teams.
The Patriots are a smart team. You don't think Vrabel and them will figure that shit out properly?
I think the Patriots would be the logical one to do it and get it done. Or like the Steelers trading up to get him. That would be another logical team. But if you tell me the Jaguars trade up one to the Patriots and move down one for them to get one of the best offensive linemen, and they go and get him, that brother's going to be messed up over there, man. He's going to be all types of fucked up in Jacksonville. So
I think if Abdul Carter somehow falls to the 4th slot, that's what I see. He would be
wherever
heaven and earth people will move. So Sammy, if
that would be my dream scenario. That would be
if
like
Abdul's there, would you take him or would you want to trade out?
Yeah, I'll take him. 100%. Okay. No question.
I see a scenario where that could possibly happen because the foot people are like, oh, I'm a little nervous. If Cam and Shador go 1-2 because the Browns panic, I think the Giants would either go Travis Hunter or offensive tackle.
But
for whatever reason.
And KK, you've slightly convinced me, and I will say this. I am a little bit more convinced to go the Travis Hunter route too. Obviously, if Abdul Carter's not there, because we made the Stephon Diggs addition today.
Right.
I think I was, and I think we could probably roll back the tape, but I was less inclined to do it because I'm like, we got nothing else. So Travis Hunter coming here by himself is pointless. You know what I mean?
And at least we knew y'all was in the market to get one of these receivers. So that's something we spoke about from since we started free agency. So at least you got one of the guys, especially someone that you do like. We'll be happy. You're happy to have. So to me, now you can start really shaping the team how you want to shape it under Drake May and Mike Rabel. You got your offensive coordinator back. He's obviously a smart guy. He knows how to run an offense.
Dude.
So
he's never. I'm thinking back on Josh McDaniels' career. I don't think he's had this amount of talent at his disposal. If Travis Hunter comes here as well, just the running back situation. I know Ramondre had a bad year last year, but I still think he's got something in the tank. You got 2 wide receivers. You got a quarterback with a big arm. Nothing against Tom Brady. Didn't really have the biggest arm, but this kid's got absolute cannon. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Because, like I've said, and I'm still eating crow, so I'll continue to eat crow. He made Mac Jones look decent. So imagine what he's going to make Drake May. Yeah. He convinced more than me, but a lot of people. But yeah.
He had you ready to get the tattoo. He about to get a tramp stamp with Mac Jones.
I wouldn't go that far, but
he was there. Top 5. All right. Let's see. I know the Bengals made their deal for the receivers. And then so I don't even know where they'd be picking in the draft. But anyway, I know the Bengals made their move.
Bengals are a 7.
Is there all right, first of all, where do you where do us three see Ash Jetty falling to? I think the Raiders has been like what I've been seeing.
Cowboys.
He ain't getting to the Cowboys, bro. He ain't getting to 12.
Pete Carroll, baby.
He's not getting past Ben Johnson.
I think he's getting past Ben Johnson, man. DeAndre Swift
wants to
isn't
see
bad.
that scenario. He's not falling to 12.
No.
I think
Pete Carroll, man. Pete Carroll loves his running backs, man. He's going 6, bro.
I've seen that they love the cornerback from what do you call it, from Michigan.
Pete Carroll loves his running backs, man. He wants a guy that he can pause down to the ground.
I can see Pete Carroll, but he's not getting past Ben Johnson no matter what. I could see. I think the Raiders to me is a perfect fit, but even if they for whatever reason don't pick him, he's not getting past Ben Johnson. to go and have him a Jameer Gibbs again? What? You know how excited he'll be in that offense with Caleb Williams back there and Roma Dunze? Oh my, bro, he'd be licking his chops. So, yeah, Mr. A-Rod draft special. I know you want to see it. I know you want to see it. Everybody wants the Cowboys to be good.
I don't want to see it. I want to see the Cowboys, do something dumb. And they have all this offense, but just let up points all the time. That's what I want to see.
I think Jerry might be locked in this year. He mad now. He just watched a rookie quarterback get to the conference championship game. Watched Jalen Hurts get to the Super Bowl, and the Giants, if they figure it out at number 3, he gonna be pressed. He gonna be pressed. All right. What other quarterback are you guys monitoring? Like, I know this is not the best quarterback class, but everybody has their opinions on a few of them. I heard Jackson Dart. I heard this.
Jackson Dart. That's my dog.
Okay. I like Jackson Dart.
Me too.
Is he the what's his name that plays for the Broncos? Oh my God, they just drafted him last year, quarterback.
Nix.
Bo Nix. Is he like the Bo Nix in the draft where like he's gonna wind up in the right situation and just take over and just take off? You think he's that type of quarterback, or we're probably a couple years away?
I think a couple of years away, but I think there's a lot of arm talent here, man. And I know A-Rod was at my house. We were watching the combine, and I kept pointing it out. I'm like, come on, man, because they had most of those quarterbacks there. Obviously, Shador wasn't there, but a lot of the quarterbacks, they were trying to up a lot of their draft stock. And Jackson Dart, dude, they don't put intended. He was dropping darts, bro. Like darts, bro. And
no,
A-Rod was coming around. A-Rod was coming
Jets
around.
at 7, A-Rod?
No, they're not. They love him, but they love him as a day 2 pick. I've been plugged into the beat writers. They love him as a day 2 pick. The only thing that they're seeing as a threat would be the Steelers with this whole Aaron Rodgers saga. If Aaron doesn't sign, the Steelers are really high on him too. So
he he does sign, shit. Aaron's sensitive now. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that. So that's the only speed bump there that I see for the Jets. I have them going to us in the 2nd round because I know they do want to get a young quarterback and have him behind Justin Fields and basically build around your product, like Sammy's saying. Build around your investment. You've got Justin Fields, who's still very young.
What's his contract, Justin Fields?
3 years. It's a 3-year contract. I don't know how
much. How much is it value? It's like how much of his guarantee? I want to see. I'll look that up. Continue.
Look it up. I don't care. All I know is we've signed dog shit this offseason.
I'm on it.
But if we can get a good old lineman, the kid from Missouri or the LSU kid, typically we don't go get LSU O-linemen. We get the corn-fed boys in the Midwest. So I kind of see it going more to Missouri. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do. But I do see Jackson Dart as a day 2 pick for me and for the Jets. But I don't know what this regime is doing. They're a shit show.
2-year deal, $40 billion.
It's 2. I thought it was 3.
It's a 2-year deal, $40 billion. I think the 3rd year he's a undrafted free agent. They can void the contract. So it's 2 years. I think it was like $30 billion guaranteed. Yeah. The sided bonus. Okay. We'll see. Because again, it's just a matter of just wait till next year on a quarterback, or is there somebody in this draft that's not named Cam Ward or Shador or Jackson that you got to just. Everyone keeps talking about this Tyler Shuck kid. I don't really know a damn thing about him. I don't know. A-Rod, you be doing your research on people. We got to bring on
too. The kid from Ohio State they're in love with.
Who?
Howard. I mean, I'm not. I'm just saying a lot of people are in love with him too. I don't get it, but that's what I keep seeing. It's like he's the 3rd best prospect for quarterback, which I don't think so. I think Jackson Dart is the clear 3 on that.
Sam, is there a player on the draft like that's very intriguing to you in this draft that you're kind of like this about? Like, I wonder what might happen with this guy.
I think the Will Campbell thing. I mean, one of the best offensive tackles, right? But because of his arm size, like he's dropping. Like I don't know. Like I'm just like, if he's a big dude and he's present and he knows how to play and he's physical, but I don't know. We'll see, because that's why like he was up there for us.
Yeah.
With our beat writers and all that stuff, but because of this
he's sliding.
he's
been sliding.
I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Mine is the kid from Georgia, Michael Williams. That kid, he's very well as advertised too.
Oh, and that kid from Arizona. That wide receiver is disgusting. Obviously, I watch a lot of Pac-12 and
Ted McMillan.
McMillan, bro.
I've been hearing his name a lot.
That kid has hands, bro. Like, he's got hands, dude.
They had us linked him in the beginning, but I don't think we need another wide receiver right now. I mean,
according to my guys at Tankathon, that's what I like to look at for mock drafts. They got Ted going 8, which is one pick right after y'all. So. He's jumping a lot of draft boards. He's been moved. I've seen a lot of people like move him up from like 30 to 22 to 15. Now I'm seeing him top 10. That's crazy. I'm very, 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 very curious as to where Ashton figures out where he's going to be playing football for the next 5 and 6 years of his career. Because that's going to be. It's like if he ends up with the Raiders, I would like that a lot.
I like it too.
If he ends up with the Bears, that's fantasy galore. I can't wait to draft him. If he ends up with the Cowboys, though, I gotta hate him, and I don't want to hate the kid. I like the kid. So.
The other one too, and this is more of hater, right? I want to watch just because I'm a hater, but Isaiah Bond, because he was talking all that shit about the
40.
Yeah,
brother, I turned on my TV to watch that damn. To watch the receivers do their 40. And I'm watching this kid, mind you, we're talking about a kid that still ran like a 4.4 or 4.38 or
4.39 or something like that. Yeah, 4.39. So still pretty quick. Yeah.
Which is still fast, but he was talking cash money shit. Bro, I should have seen a 4.2 something. At least a 4.31. Yeah. I should have seen something like, okay, come on, brother. No, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to the pro. And then there's a couple tight ends. We saw what Brock Bowers did last year for the Raiders. Shit, if they get Brock Bowers and Ashton, but there's a couple tight ends. Tyler Warren from Penn State, and then they have what's that other kid's name?
Loveland.
Coastal Loveland. This actually 3. I gotta look up the third one. Whatever it is. So yeah. There's some tight ends that will change some fortunes next year too, and we're seeing, some of these Sam Laporta. I'm starting to think about fantasy already, so silly me. Sam Laporta blew up his rookie year. Brock Bauer on a bad team blew up his rookie year. We're seeing people like Travis Kelce kind of fizzle out. So there's about to be a new age of like, damn, that tight end, that boy is good. So we'll kind of see what happens with all of that. Were there any other significant moves in the NFL or anything else on your draft board, A-Rod, that's on the top of your mind?
Nah, not really. Just the back end of the draft. It's all like, for me, it's really D-line heavy on everything. Everyone's going after an edge rusher or a D lineman, and I'm curious to see what the poverty-stricken Bengals are going to do with their pick and who they're going to try and get. I'd laugh. I would laugh.
Defense.
I hope so. I would laugh.
They have to. They have to.
Come
they
on.
Really have to.
Don't fuck that up. They can't mess that one up.
They better only do that.
Don't mess. Like, you tied in $100+ million. You talking about 2 quarterbacks getting paid. Between Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, I think annually there's like $160 million or something like that tied into those 3 dudes. So you better come through with it.
And then Hendrickson is like strong armed to stay there now. Like, he can't be traded.
They can't trade the dude, so they're gonna have to pay his ass too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I just want to give a shout out to University of Michigan. There's like at least 3 or 4, maybe four or 5 players that gonna get drafted in the first round. So shout out to them.
I got 4 going in the first round from Michigan.
Hey, Rob, why you got us picking this safety, Xavier Watts? I think we're going D-line. personally.
The last pick is just a toss-up. I think y'all need a safety now, because who do you have?
Shit, we got Cooper
Got
DeJean.
Who else?
We got Reed Blankenship. We got Keon Mitchell. Those three alone, that's Quintamino Bay. They can't stop us.
One more.
No, we're gonna get a safety. I don't think first round. I think first round we need to replace a lot of defensive line people. So that front, what made us good at 18 and what made us good these last couple of years is the front. Not the corners help. The front is what we need. Then we'll build the back end.
One player that I think you guys could get that could fall is this kid from Tennessee I keep seeing, James Pierce Jr. I keep seeing him falling, and he's projected to go like top 10. But I keep seeing mock drafts, and I don't know if he just says the N-word in the interview too much. I don't know what he does to kill his draft stock or whatever. But he's a guy that I could see going to you guys. There's so many D linemen going in this draft. I'm curious to see how the back end of the draft goes, because every one of those teams needs D-line, and the Eagles are going to have to do their homework on all these guys.
Let me tell you right now, we traded up. We acquired all these damn picks. We going up to at least 22 or some shit like that.
I believe you are too. And if you can get one of these players, I'm trying to look at the board that I have here.
Pierce, I know. Listen, I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. I want to trade up and get Abdul Carter. So.
Good luck, bro.
Probably not gonna happen. But that's what I want. All right. Let's
nice, man.
Let's All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the National Basketball Association. We are in the stretch run of the NBA season. Things are starting to kind of fall in place. Everyone seems to be in that last 10, 15 games. It's kind of like a kerfuffle of rest, no rest, playoff seeding, trying to figure out, do I want to play that team in the first round, blase, blase. So it's a lot of fluff going on right now. The biggest news coming out was today, Damian Lillard. You mentioned that, A-Rod. Damian Lillard got blood clots in his leg, out indefinitely, which to me means the Bucks are cooked. I think not only this season, I think we might be seeing the end of the Bucks as we know it. They gonna get Doc up out of there, even though it's not his fault that Dame was getting hurt. His most recent comments about I've been down 3-1, but like no one ever credits me. I mean, I've lost 3-1 leads, but no one ever credits me for being up 3-1. I'm like, now they realize they made a mistake. Giannis is probably not happy because that team does not fit him right now. Everything is a mess in Milwaukee. Do you think this Dame injury, A-Rod, start with you? Do you think this Dame injury is like the beginning of the actual end of this Milwaukee team as we know it, or we still got a little bit of light in the fire?
I think it's too early to call to see how crazy this is, because I know he's getting treatment for it already. But I think the Bucks have to start thinking another route, because they've kept this core together for a very long time, and you just got to get younger, and you got to get the right players and the right kind of players to play around Giannis. I'm more afraid of, like, is this the end of Dame for me? Because you see it in Dame. He's good at what he does. He's amazing at what he does. But since going to Milwaukee and since the departure from Portland and the divorce with the wife, he just doesn't look the same to me.
Joy.
So I just feel like the fun has been sucked out of Dame Lillard, pause. So I just don't think that we have that same caliber type of player anymore. And then when you get something like this, it kind of puts you at a crossroads. What do I want to do? Do I want to keep playing? I've made a lot of money. I've made a name for myself. They're already making memes of me the best to never win one in the NBA. So what do we do from here? But from the Bucks' point of view of things, they got to draft better, because their draft picks aren't hitting. Beauchamp is gone now. That kid that they got from the G League, he's disappeared to me. I don't know what he does. And it's just like the starting five. And I think we said that beginning of the season. I don't know anybody on that bench. That bench is just very
They got Torian Prince.
Does he
They
move the needle?
got Gary Trent.
Doesn't move the needle
They
for
got
me.
Kuzma now.
Kuzma was a bad get. I would never
I
have
like
Kuzma.
Kuzma for the team. My problem with Milwaukee, we've been talking about Glenn. All right. I watched that man coach that basketball team. And I watched Milwaukee. I tweeted this like a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Watching the Milwaukee Bucks hurts my eyes. Like, and everything is just disjointed, dysfunctional, out of order, no sense of urgency. They don't call plays out of bounds. Like, it's just janky. It's just like janky looking. I'm like, bro, like how do you expect to win with this nonsense? Like, it's just ugly. It's ugly to watch. It's not aesthetically pleasing. The pieces of the puzzle don't fit together. It's a mess. So to me, they did Giannis Antetokounmpo a disservice when they brought in Doc Rivers. That was just he couldn't make it work with Paul George and Kawhi. He couldn't make it work with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and James Harden. He couldn't make it work with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. He got gifted Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen to that Boston team. You Boston fans will say that was more whatever the Knicks coach name is. So he's a good coach, but like he needs the cards to be the deck to be so stacked. Like it needs to be a perfect situation, and even then he might get in his own way. I feel like the Bucks they got rid of Chris. Once they traded Drew Holiday, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? So to me, that just the team is cooked. They screwed up. I think it's better for them to just tear it down, ask Giannis to be a little patient for about a year or two, and pray that he's okay to stick around to see a little bit of a rebuild type of situation, or just get what you can for him because he's too big of a superstar in that small ass market for y'all to be trashed. Steph Curry watched the Warriors do their thing with them going through a couple down years, so it's not impossible, but we'll see. But kind of looking at other teams in the NBA, A-Rod, your Knicks. I know Jalen Brunson. Is he coming back this regular season, or is he? Are we gonna be waiting for the playoffs to go see it?
I believe he's coming back for the season. They're saying towards the last game of this, or towards the last end of the ending games of the season, he should be back. I know he's doing light shooting and things like that, but I don't know. Not having them definitely does hurt them. But they'll probably be the 3 seed, I think, going in.
Locked into the 3 seed.
It's close though. It's close.
Now, there's a chance in which you would have to play the Pistons in the first round. Now, the Pistons have been my pseudo league pass team. The boys, that would be a tough first round for y'all to deal with. If you had to pick a situation of play the Pistons and deal with that, or play Giannis and deal with that in the first round, what do you think is a safer path for the New York Knicks to get to the next round and play Boston?
I got 2 scenarios. One, we play the Bucks and we gotta go against Glenn Rivers as the coach, and I can expect him to fuck it up somehow. Yeah. And with the Pistons, I think it's more of experience being in the playoffs. I feel comfortable against them. Don't get me wrong, what they've done in the regular season has been great, and I like seeing the Pistons back because we've been waiting for a long time since they won that championship for them to get the shit together with all the draft picks they've had, all the guys that they funneled out. They seem to have struck gold with Cade Cunningham and Thompson and a lot of the other guys that they got. And Ivy, if Ivy comes back, we'll see what role he carves himself into. But I'd rather play the Pistons, to be honest with you, than have Giannis just run through us like a wrecking ball.
God, the Pistons experience, y'all should be able to deal with that experience. Y'all should be able to take care of that. And then you're right, it's Doc. So it's like, yeah, I'm not too concerned about Milwaukee, about the Knicks. Now, Vic, Vic, sorry, Sammy. I did see I don't know what's up with Jason Tatum. I did see his ankle. Is he okay? Like, are we good?
Yeah, it was not serious. It was not serious, but I think he'll be shelved for like the next 2 weeks anyway.
Okay, all right, good. So you feel good about where you at right now? You guys entrenched
second seed,
number 2.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And now we talked about Cleveland a little bit earlier, and they have gone on a little bit of a slippage. Go ahead.
They're also saying that Dame's blood clot injury may return this season. Great deal of optimism, but they're not saying it's season ending. But he is out indefinitely.
I don't know. See, the thing with blood clots is so tricky to me, so I don't know. That we'll let the experts take care of that. But yeah, Cleveland, they've been on a little bit of a slippage lately, Sammy. Are you how much less concerned are you, or do you feel like maybe that was a nice kick in the ass that they needed?
I was never concerned. I don't know. It was reported on this exact podcast. I was never concerned.
I've never been concerned.
You did your usual KK thing where you said, "Are you sure you're not convinced?" And then you gave me some things. And then you said, I was like, "Nope." And you said, "Are you sure you're not convinced?" And you gave me some things. And I was like, "Nope."
All right. So the voodoo.
You tried.
The voodoo didn't work. All right, cool. Honestly, at this moment in time right now, it's the Celtics out the East. Like, I'm willing to put a paycheck on it at this point. It just doesn't seem likely that any of these other teams could really beat a fully healthy, functional Celtics. But y'all just been playing around with lineups. Tatum play someday. You got Derek White drop 40. You got these white boys that never heard of drop 30. It's kind of unfair. I ain't gonna lie. This is like Golden State feels like. All right. Excuse me. And then shout out to the Sixers embracing the tank. Cooper Flag, we about to capture the flag, y'all. Embrace the tank. Shout out to the Sixers. All right. West Coast.
How about Quentin Grimes, though, man? How about Quentin Grimes for y'all?
Shout out to him. Go get your bag. He ain't gonna be with us, but go get your bag. We ain't gonna pay him because I know we won't. But go get your bag, bro. Like, I'm proud of him. But
you don't think you'll move on from Paul George and keep him?
Paul George is gone.
Paul George is gone.
Paul George is gone. I don't know where they sent him to. Like, better learn to speak Chinese, buddy. He's not that bad. It's just $212 million, bro. Come on, man. He got to go to, like, he'll end up in Phoenix with Kevin Durant. It won't work. He'll be like another one of those years. That's probably what's going to happen. But in the West Coast, a lot of teams are losing, except for the Thunder. So, if you had to put money on it right now, Sammy, you taking the Thunder or the Field?
To win the West?
To win the West. The Thunder or the Field?
I'm taking the Field.
Taking the Field. A-Rod, Thunder or the Field? Right now.
Okay, and I want it to be clear. You're asking me, like, I want
I'm going to get back to you.
But, okay.
I just want to know, A-Rod, real quick. You taking the Thunder or you taking the Field to win the West?
I'm taking the Thunder to win the West. They're like fucking 13 games above.
You know what? And I'll talk about win the West and be like, go to the NBA.
Oh, go to the finals? The Field. Yes. Fuck that.
All right. I gotta say.
The Thunder. I respect the Thunder and I want them to. But I just think there's just a lot of youth there still. Still think there's a lot of youth. I don't think Alex Caruso moves the needle.
He's not just. It's not. For whatever reason, I've been so out on the Thunder all last couple of years. Lately, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going through some shit. I'm like, man, maybe the Thunder might actually just win the West. Like, it might just be we didn't see the Warriors coming. I'm not saying this to Warriors. But the Warriors just kind of just sprung up on us, and we were like, oh, shit, the Warriors are a dynasty. Like, sometimes these things, we don't see the shit coming, and it's just, oh, shit, this team was a dynasty. They might have just found the secret sauce. Like, these dudes like each other. So it's like, it's a weird dynamic. I think, what's that boy I sent over there, A-Rod, the big man?
Who? What
to
team?
OKC.
Hartenstein?
Hartenstein, he's a great fit for Chet Holmgren. Shai, he's a foul merchant, but damn, he might not get the calls, but he don't sweat, and that mid range look great. And then Jalen Williams can shoot. Isaiah Joe can shoot. Lou Dort can shoot now. They just got Lou Dort is like a broke Drew Holiday. Like everything just kind of just fits to me. And I could foresee a scenario now, finally, where I might see a Thunder versus Boston Celtics series. And it might actually go 7. That would be very interesting. Or it might go 6. I don't know. But that would be a series that I would actually turn my TV on to watch. But Sammy, you set the field. Why are you taking the field?
I just want to be very known. You can go back on our history again. I'm pretty consistent. I love the Thunder. I think they're great. But you said if I'm a betting man, who would I take, the Thunder or the field? I'm obviously going to take the field because the statistics are much better. And the other point is when you get to the playoffs, it's a much, much, much different beast. And I know last year we saw just almost an equivalent Thunder team, maybe with now this year they have a little bit more under their belt. But again, what we're seeing right now is kind of just a, subsequent to the playoffs, right? They're continuing the momentum. They lost in the playoffs where they shouldn't, and they're just carrying the momentum during the regular season. I think when you get into the playoffs, you're going to face, the Nuggets, who are seasoned. You're going to face a hungry LeBron James and an even hungrier Luka Doncic if everybody's healthy. You got playoff Jimmy. I mean, until he proves to me otherwise, he is still going to be playoff Jimmy when it comes playoff time. And especially keynote is because he's so motivated now, and that's what scares the hell out of me, and that should scare a lot of people.
Miami get the dog shit out of the Warriors. It ain't worked.
But still. Now again, it's gonna be tough. I think the Thunder, on paper, they have the horses, right? They 100% have the horses, but the playoffs are a different beast, right? It's a different beast, man.
No, you're absolutely right. And again, I would say I finally got to a point in which I could see the Thunder playing the Celtics. But if I put my heart or my U.S. currency on it, I'm probably taking the field as well because Nikola Jokic is still out there. LeBron and Luka Doncic is still out there. Stephen Curry is still out there. And there's a lot of heavy hitters that you got to be aware of. Like last year, they probably asked the same question. And Luka Doncic carried that team and Kyrie carried that team to the finals. Like, that's all it takes. It takes a superstar in the playoffs. And it really comes down to is, do you think Shai Gilgeous can become A-Rod? How much Shai Gilgeous have you watched this year? Like, have you got to see him, like, at his craft?
Yeah, I've watched him. He's
okay. Does he strike you as somebody from our era, from yesteryear, of a guy that could just put this shit on his back? Derrick Rose, Allen Iverson, I'm going to put this shit on my back by myself. Even though the team is not bad around him. It's not like it's LeBron 07 or LeBron or AI 01. But it's a bunch of 23-year-olds. So you think he got that kind of shit to him where he's like, damn, Shai Gilgeous won this series, 2 series by himself, 3 series by himself. You think he got that A-Rod? From what you've seen from him?
I think that team just complements everybody to do the other stuff. Shai's going to get his points. Williams is going to be the Pippen to him. And the rest of the guys just do the role playing, the steals, the rebounds, the blocks, the defense. And they're just fun to watch. But when it comes down, like Sammy said, the playoffs are a different beast. You've got guys with hella experience in a LeBron James. You've got guys that want it like the Steph Currys. You have guys like Jimmy Butler that have been there. You've got Nikola Jokic, who's just the guy. Don't know if he loves basketball, but he's damn good at it. So
I think he loves it. I think he just put it on the front. He loves that shit. You don't play. You can't be that good and not love basketball. I'm sorry. You can't.
I agree, but his poker face is amazing.
If he hated basketball, I don't know if I could watch basketball again. It would hurt my soul. I'm like, nah, bro, you can't be this good and hate the sport that I love so much.
I don't think he hates it, but I just think he's like kind of like one of those people like me when you're at the work function and you're around people and all they want to do is talk work, he's like, no, let's talk about horses. I have horses. I want to tell you about my horses. Like, I just feel like he's that kind of guy. He's just one of the guys that just wants to talk about other shit.
Good at my
But
job, brother.
yeah, I'm good at my job. I'm damn good at it. Now let's how your wife and kids. But I don't see Shai being the kind of guy that can carry the team. He's going to get the points, of course. He'll be the leading scorer, all of that. But I don't know if he has that to get it. And I could be wrong. We could get a second sighting of like a D Rose or a James Harden type of guy that just does shit like that. But I don't see it.
Yeah, but the dude is good, bro. He's averaging 32.
Very good. He's very
30,
good. I'm taking away
he shoots 90% from free throw, 37% from three, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Then you look at Jokic's stats. He's just golly, bro. He's unfair, bro. He's a creative player. So unfair. All right. We got a few more games to go, so we'll revisit the NBA.
I think it's important to keep in mind, like, you know, it's a marathon, right? When you talk about the NBA season, you know, and all of it is going to come to fruition once the playoffs start. We all know that. We've seen the last few years where the playoffs have been a dogfight, right? Like every year for the last 4 years, it feels like it's been an absolute dogfight. So you got the Thunder. Yes, it looks like they're rolling, right? But you're also against some of these teams that are veterans. They know you can't give it 100% every night. And when you watch OKC, I give them a lot of credit, young guys. But dude, they give 100% every night. Can they do it? And will they be as effective when the team opposing them is giving 100% as well?
Can we think of a team in like our recent history that plays like a bunch of young guys that are way better than they even realize how good they are? Like they're just like, damn, they're just young. They're just young, play hard, and you know, like, have you seen a team like this?
No, what I was gonna say, a team that like really put it all out there and really worked really hard, even though I don't think they were very good, were that Atlanta Hawks team, right? I mean,
that's perfect. Well,
I don't think they're as talented. They're not as talented.
I feel like Cleveland is more of that Atlanta Hawks team, even though they got shit. They got what's his name, the point guard.
Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland,
Donovan Mitchell, and Garland, and Evan Mobley, and Jet. They got stars, but like in the grand scheme of things, outside of Donovan Mitchell, like the rest of them could be an Al Horford, which is not a bad career. Kyle Korver, not a bad career. You know what I mean? Like Joe Johnson, not a bad career. Like they don't. Do Josh they have Smith? Josh Smith wasn't even on that 60-win team, but like. That team was really good, gave it all out, put it all out there, very professional, but then they ran into a superstar. And LeBron James swept them out the playoffs. And to me, I could see that OKC, like they run into a Luka, they run into an even an Anthony Edwards, they run into an obvious Nikola Jokic, LeBron. Like they just get it. Like that's why, like it's very intriguing. They have the #1 seed, and the teams that are fighting for that last playoff spot, they could play a KD. They can play Anthony Edwards. They can play. I mean, they can play some Anthony Davis pissed off. I don't know. They can play someone that can screw up the whole shit for them, and they get done out like the We Believe Warriors did the Mavericks that 1 year. So we might be seeing another Dirk Nowitzki MVP season out in the first round. SGA MVP season out in the first round. Ooh, that's scary, dog. They get a hungry KD. Devin Booker, and somehow they figure out how to make Bradley Beal work with all this. I don't want to play them in the first round. So the field seems to be the better bet on this one, but we'll see. Is there any other? I do want to get to MLB opening days this week, and shit, I want to get to that. But is there anything else in the NBA that's at the top of my? I want to make sure I get it all out there. All good. All right, A-Rod. The floor is yours.
Opening day. What do you want from me, man? I'm excited. I'm as happy as a pig in shit, man.
What's on your mind going into the year? What is? We can get to the Yankees, but just overall going into this season, first of all we just did our fantasy draft. This past was it Monday? That was yesterday. Shit.
Yesterday. That shit was hell, by the way, man. I think this is my last year in this league, man. 2 minutes for a pick is way too much. We started at 7:30 and we ended at 11 o'clock.
I mean, it was it's fantasy 25
seconds.
rounds.
Listen, fantasy people, when it comes to anything outside of football, a minute pick is perfect for football. 45 seconds for baseball. I'm sorry.
It's not. Baseball's harder, bro.
Do your job. Do your job. If you come to work,
25 picks. There's 800 players to draft from. That shit's hard.
Okay, towards the end, and then what we use to draft, we don't do it on that. Like, it's not properly ordered, so you're going all the way down, and then you get guys like Kevin.
Clicky draft. That's the last time I ever see clicky draft. That shit's horrible.
It's horrible. And then you get guys like Kevin saying, you're reaching. No, bro. If you look at an ESPN, these guys are here.
Why don't pay attention to that shit?
I don't pay attention. I don't give a fuck. I'm fine.
How do you like your team, A-Rod? How do you like your team?
It's all right. I'm not pissed with it, but I just gotta wait for some of the injured guys to come back, and we'll be good. So.
Did you feel like you restart? Did you feel like you restart anybody? Is there somebody you took like a? No. Is there a player that's like a boom or bust for you that like, damn, this player might be great, but damn, he might just be.
I really wanted to get Bregman, but somebody went and got him like super early, and I was like, all right, that's definitely a Red Sox fan that went and got that one. But I'm
on
okay.
Your team. On your team.
In my all honesty, like I got into a fight with my father, and I left the house because I was in a draft at the house, and I was drafting while I was driving. And trying to do that while you're driving on that app is the worst thing to do. It's not like ESPN where you got to click out of screens to go back and forth. It was annoying. So I was queuing everybody up. Like none of you fuckers do in the draft. Nobody queues anybody. Well, I want to get this guy later. Everybody's queued for a minute 57.
I queued up my players. But you still gotta, after you know who's finally gonna be available, then you gotta really just, all right, now.
You queue your players, you look at them, and then you see what else is on the board, and you say, do I really want this or could I do that? Simple as that. Maybe I'm a fantasy fucking nerd or whatever.
Yeah,
Sammy and I, we did ours. What was ours? Thursday? We did ours Thursday. So
no, Sunday. It was Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. I'm in 3 leagues, man. I'm in 3 leagues this year.
I can never do more than one fantasy baseball league. Like that's a whole nother beast. Basketball and baseball, I'm not playing those games.
And I love keepers too, man. Because in my one league, never do keepers. I always got to try and get Aaron Judge, and this year I got to deal with Juan Soto on my team as my first pick, which I'm not mad at. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at your team. You got your usuals, Aaron Judge. You got Mookie Betts, right?
Those are my keepers: Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, and Zach Wheeler.
Okay, all right.
I didn't keep my boy Cole because he's obviously not playing this year.
Ooh, Drew Lee. I looked him up. Yeah, he's somebody I heard about. Springer, I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but I needed a outfielder. Somebody will come up and I'll pick them up. I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, of course. It's baseball. Like you got to be on the waiver wire heavy. Sammy, how do you like your team that you drafted?
I didn't even draft towards the end. I did my usual. I had 2 keepers in this, which were Dylan Cease and Juan Soto. So, but from there, I kind of go. I'm happy with my team. I usually go third base and then back to the outfield, just kind of get as many RBIs as I can, and then I start working on the middle infield if there is anybody still available, because a lot of people already had keepers. I should have kept Gunnar Henderson, but it's whatever. I'm not gonna trip about it.
I should have kept my boy Julio Rodriguez. That's my favorite player. And
you should have. I kept Soto just because he's my favorite player.
I thought.
Who did you keep?
I kept Paul Skeens because Paul Skeens is Paul Skeens.
What a great last pick that was.
Huh?
What a great to the bottom pick that was for you.
But he was the last pick the year. I drafted him the year before. So he ended up being my second round keeper this year. But last year he was my last round keeper. But still, it's Paul Skeens. I had to have him. Lawrence Butler, 25th round.
You kept Lawrence Butler?
25th round.
Okay.
I like the intangibles. I like the new park that they're playing in. I like the prospect of having a 25th round that's probably going to go in 6 or 7.
2 years he ain't done nothing. Anyways, who's your other one?
Shit, man. And then Mason Miller from the A's. So
Kept two A's players. Man, you think he's now?
I'm an A's fan. Dog, a couple years ago, I was a Mariners fan. I had all the Mariners. I did pick up draft Cal Raleigh, who just got an extension today. But I got Pete Alonso, playing high school, right? Am I right? Playing high school? Got to playing high school alone. I got a few Phillies. I got Bohm, I got Trey Turner, and I got Aaron Nola. So I'm not mad. I just really wish I had, and I'm going to regret it.
Yo, one last thing. Let's not go through the fantasy thing, but Ron, dude, I don't know if you saw it when he stopped the clock and like changed his pick.
Oh, because no, we were in a group chat and we were talking. They accidentally picked a player for him, Alexi Diaz or something like that. He didn't pick him. Like he was like, I did not pick that player.
It was a closer Suarez, and then he went and got Tanner Scott.
Either way, we were all on the call, so everything was legit.
I love not being on that call, by the way. Thank you for not putting me on it.
Well, it's not a call. It's just a group meeting.
Gotcha.
Just a group meeting. All right. Anything baseball related that you're excited for opening day? Whether it's Yankees, are you concerned about the Yankees' injuries? Are you happy about anything else that's going on in the league?
Oh yeah. If you would have told me that this was the rotation we'd have in the beginning of the season, or like before the season started, I'd have laughed. If Will Warren was the last pitcher for us, not having Luis Hill and not having the ace on the mound and Cole, it's going to be tough. So I'm curious to see what the back end guys and Will Warren and journeyman Carlos Carrasco is going to do now. This is like his 15th year, damn near 40 pitching. We'll see what he can do. I mean, he's always been a strikeout guy, but lately he's become a piñata. I know we brought in and we need a DH. We don't have a DH with Stanton in limbo. I know we talked to JD Martinez, and there's talks of them trying to trade for another starting pitcher and purging the Marlins per usual and getting Alcantara. I don't know what they're going to do. The pitching looks I was very pleased with the moves they did in the offseason to make the pitching better, but the injury to Hill and then, of course, TJ surgery for Cole really scares me. So, and then not having a third baseman, that I'm still puzzled. How many years are we going to go without having a third baseman? So,
as of 12 and a half hours from now, your win loss projections at 89.5, Red Sox at 86.5. Just so y'all know, Phillies 91.5, and then the highest by 10 games, the Dodgers at 103.5. They literally have the whole NL East going 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, the Nationals are probably like down there somewhere, but they got Braves 93.5, Phillies 91.5, and Mets 90.5. Do you think this is the year the Mets, A-Rod, you think the Mets can finally do something right for a change? Still?
No. Unless they get pitching, unless I'm wrong about this pitching. There's not when you take Clay Holmes and make him a starter, that's the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. If that guy can't get you 3 outs, what makes you think he can go 5 innings for you?
Oh no, you're right. I think they spent a lot of money and then they went and got the guy. They finally went and got the guy. So, I mean, A-Rod, y'all did some shit, right? This
one guy
went and got the guy. Is that like a change? And don't you feel different now that you got your guy?
One guy doesn't win you games, though, man. One guy he'll get all the stats, but he doesn't.
For what it does for every, we brought in Bryce.
I don't like this KK. I don't like this KK talking from the top of his mantle again. That's how he be talking to us about the NFL.
Brought in Bryce Harper and changed the whole complexion of the locker room.
Okay,
sometimes it just happens like that.
Also brought in good pitching too. You went and got good pitching. You got a better bullpen now. You got Romano. You've got Alvarado. You've got Oldenburg, whatever the fuck the dude's name is. You got a lot of good pitchers over there that you have. And Zach Wheeler was a reason that they were able to stay in the games. And you kept your core. But with the Mets, who do you scared of in the starting rotation? Sean Manaea? There's nobody that scares me in that rotation. And if you think Clay Holmes you're gonna say, we're gonna make you a starter and wheel him on out there. That guy can't get through 3 outs with the Yankees. What do you think that he's gonna do in 5 innings?
Yeah, he did burn me a few times when I had him in the lineup. So
and yeah, I had him too. And then Diaz, he's very shaky too. What type of Diaz you? It's like 1 year he's good, the next year he's bad. 1 year he's good, the next year he's bad. So this could be his swan song now, going out there. But I don't think I think the Mets may make the playoffs as a wild card team, but I don't see it until they get a solid ace on the mound. You got to have at least one ace.
Trying to figure out what's a good bet. Plus 2,300, Boston Red Sox win the World Series.
Damn, when did y'all get Jesus Luzardo? Dope, man.
We got him. Yeah, that was early on.
Yeah,
see, we don't worry about us. We solid. We fourth in World Series ranking. I mean, World Series odds. Yankees are second in World Series odds. I don't know why. That's bad money. Bad money spent. Dodgers plus 210. That's depressing to know that the team is that good that they plus 210 to win the World Series. All right. Next week, A-Rod, what we're gonna do from a baseball perspective, we're gonna do our award predictions. So we're gonna do Cy Young. I want to give you some time to really think about it, and we're gonna put our money where our mouth is next week. So that for everybody would put their money for a player to win an award or a team to win a division, we're gonna put our money where our mouth is next week.
It's still gonna be for me to call because it's gonna be rusty. These kids still
coming.
Yeah, but I like playing.
You see signs.
Get go. Yeah, I get it.
See signs.
Red Sox winning the AL East.
After I've heard a lot of movement in that line, by the way, Sammy. So we're gonna talk. That's why I said we'll see next week. Because by next week you're gonna get the rotation.
Take that over. It's too late. I already took that shit.
All right. Sammy, what do you gotta let your naysayers know right now?
If anybody was sick and tired of the Moroccan national team, well, that's too damn bad because today they statistically qualified for the World Cup next year. They were undefeated in qualifiers, and we are back, baby, ready to make history all over again. No, just kidding. You can't really do that. But, yeah, we cook in with some hot fire. And also, to some of the naysayers. Actually, no, that's all I got.
Nigeria is still trash, as expected. A-Rod, go ahead.
New York Yankees, just play like you played last year. Play with a lot of heart. You don't got the ace. I need the other guys to step up. 2 left-handed starting pitchers. It's going to be interesting to see that. That's going to be fun. And then Real Madrid signing Trent Alexander-Arnold finally. Do we know yet? Do we know if this is happening yet?
That showed up on my front page, so that must have been important, apparently.
I think it's safe to say
that man can't stay healthy, bro. So
I know
with that, bro.
I know he can't.
Have fun with that, bro.
And hopefully we don't do it. What's the dude, the old coach of England? What was his name? Southgate. Hopefully we don't do what Southgate doesn't put him as a center midfielder. The guy's a great right back when he's healthy. I don't want to see that shit.
You guys don't need a center midfielder at Real Madrid. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. We have too many in the factory right now.
I'm gonna just say this right now, naysayers. I
got one
All
more.
right, go ahead.
I'm out on USA Soccer. I am out on them. So when Vic decides to come back and partake in this, I'm sick of hearing about it. They're an embarrassment. They don't know how to play. I don't care if Sergino Dest is there. It's bad. It looks bad. They don't look like Sammy always says, play for the crest. They don't look like they want to play for the crest whatsoever. It's
all
annoying.
the talent in the world. They don't give a shit. Hey, KK, I learned this from you. You know better than everyone. What did you tell me about Nigeria?
They selfish. They just play for themselves.
all the talent in the world.
All that talent is play for themselves. So it's a bunch of individuals out there, and I ain't gonna work in a team environment, especially of that magnitude. So yeah, that's just. I mean, you see when a team bands together that may not be as physically as gifted as other teams. You see what happens when they just band together, guys. This all against us against the world. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
And my jersey.
Liverpool. I watched Liverpool played last Sunday at Maloney's.
Woof.
That shit was funny. So I was going to say that shit was funny. I did lose money because I bet on Liverpool because I wanted to feel involved with the crowd of Maloney's fans. I mean, people who are Liverpool fans, but to see the dejection, sorry. Even though I got no legs to stand on, to see the dejection. That's all I got to say. A-Rod, where can they find us at?
You can find us at Twitter, fair_weather_pod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. Where you subscribe to Podcast Audio, search the Fair Weather Podcast. You can find us there. Take it away.
I ain't got shit else to say, so adios. Peace.